except for Sheshi over here in the margin. Not seeing any notes for chapter 15. After these things, the word of God as noun and verb came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield. Thy reward shall be exceedingly great. And Abram said, God as noun and verb, divinity, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this, Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of God as a noun and verb came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. Figure of speech, obviously. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now towards heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. And he believed in God as a noun and verb, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am. God is a noun and verb that brought thee out of of the Chaldees, the land where people did their 5 daily prayers to Ahura Mazda, to give thee this land to inherit it. And he said, God is noun and verb, divinity, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, Take me an heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Now, with little exception, after the time of Buddha, the Buddhas or whatever, you find that Zoroastrianism became a dominant faith in the area, but it doesn't mean it wasn't a present one. There's certainly reason to think that for thousands of years even it could have been a present thing, but certainly all the altars and statues and stuff like this, well, that wasn't part of their cult. So what's going to survive from a bunch of people going around saying their prayers, lighting fires to keep warm in the areas where they do their prayers, And he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst, and each laid a piece one against another, and but the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down, and the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward they shall come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the 4th generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Because the Amorites tended to be what you call Yazidi nowadays. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning flame that passed between those pieces. In the same day, God as noun and verb made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt and the great river, the river Euphrates, the Kenite, and the Kenizzite, and the Cadmonite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Rephaim, and the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Girgashite, and the Jebusite. I think I should, because we've seen other words, let's look at 2 words that we've seen so far for visions. Chaza, which chaza relates more to an internal experience. It's having seen, perceived, contemplated, surrendered via one's awareness or sense of something. It's one's breast, a gazer, a seer, stuff like that related to that. And we've seen previously the word Ra, which tends to refer more to dreams, but, it can relate to a bird of prey, like something comes down and you have an experience. You have a providing, a respect, a showing, a thinking, a view, a considering, a discerning, an intentional change of one's direction. And Achur Hadbrim Halah Hya Debur Yahweh Al Abram Bumchaza Lamer Al Tira Abram Anki Magan Luk Shukrak Herba Mad We Amr Abram Adni Yahweh. Okay, so Lord God, we've often seen Yahweh Elohim, so leader of the community. Maybe I'll go for that term more elsewhere. Ma Tetan Li Wanki Huluk Ariri Waban Mashak Biti Hawa Dimshak Ali Azar Vi Amr Abram Han Li La Nata Sra Wahna Ban Biti Yurish Ati Wahna Deber Yahweh Eliu Lamer La Yair Shuk Zahki Asher Yitza Mem Ayak Hawa Irushuk Wiutza Atu Hachutza We Amr Habathna Hashmima Wasper Haku Kabim Tukul Lesper Atem We Amr Lu Ka Yahya Sarak Wah Amr Wah Amen Bihwa Wich Shaba Lu Tzadqa We Amr Aliu Ani Yahweh Asher Chutz Atyak Mar Kashtim Latet Lak At Hartz Hazat Lurshta We Amr Adni Yahweh B'mah Ada Ki Ershna We Amr Eliu Kacha Li Agla Mash Achet wan mesh lusht whale lesh luch mesh lush water waboozle we kutch lu atkul alh we butter atom batuk wheaton ish batru lakrat brahu wat hotspur la butter we rud hayat al hab grim we shub at abram we he hashmesh lebwa wat rudma wab lah al abram wahna amah cheshka gadla naplet al yu we amr labrim yada tada ki ler yahweh sirak bartzla lachem wa badum wanu atom arba mount shana wagam at hagwi asher ya badu dan anki wachri kan itzau berkesh gadul wata tabwa al abtik bashlum takbur bashibah thuba wadur ribi'ai yashubu hana ki la shulm aun hamri ad hana wihi hashmesh ba walatha hia wahna hanur ashen walapid ash asher aber bin hagzrim hla bium hahwa kurt yahweh at abram brit lamer lazrak nati at hearts hazat menher metzrim ad chanher hagdol nacher pert at hakine wat hakenzi wat hakdamni wat hatchti wat Hepperzi, wat Herpaim, wat Hamri, wat Heknani, wat Henrugshi, wat Hebusi,